I've had job offers in lovely places, Paris, Germany. I said, as soon as they come in, I said, there's no way. Because I got to take my aunt to her doctor's appointment. I got to do her taxes. I have to help my cousin go into a psych ward once in a while, right? So, that's not a burden to me.
Hmm.
And I want to make that clear. That's a privilege. I get to. It's a privilege to be able to sacrifice. I get to help them because when I was growing up, you needed your tooth extracted, chaos. You had to call a loan shark. We had to call a local Vietnamese grocery store to borrow money from God knows who. Don't ask, don't tell, right? And just to get like little things done. And so it was like the end of the world when those things happen. And now every emergency my family has, I can take care of. And I'm proud of that. And to me, if that's what I'm doing with my one life that I'm given, then I'm really, really proud of that. And I think having the courage to break away from the social expectations of count and then realigning what counts for you.
Hmm.
It's hard work though. It took me 20 years. And this is still new to me. This is a new feeling, right? I don't want folks to have this understanding that I've always had this. Like I'm developing it as we speak.
What I'd love to have you do is if you could speak directly to the person who's really resonating, because I know so many people will, and maybe they're in the job and they thought they'd only work at the restaurant for 2 or 3 years. And they're just getting by. And they're starting to feel that dream of a different life slipping away.
Mm.
What do you want them to know?
I think for me, you have a myth of yourself, and the myth for myself was to be a business person because that's just what I thought where money was. So like when I was 15, I thought I was working in a tobacco farm for cash. It was no Uncle Sam, no taxation, under the table, $9.50 an hour, way better than minimum wage, which is $7.15. And it was so interesting because we lived in HUD housing, Section 8, and my mother sat me down one day and said, "Son, I crunched the numbers, and you need to get a job. You're about to be 16, but you got to just work at McDonald's." So can you imagine, like, what happened to like American dream, upward mobility?